All right, you guys. So we are moving on to multiplying and dividing rational expressions. Um, it is still a process of factoring, okay? Um, but you need to make sure you pay very close to what happens when I moved from a multiplication problem to a division problem because there's an extra step. It's the same process. It's all going to be based on whether or not you can factor it and then whether or not you can cancel it. All right. So if I look at my first example, I have x squared minus 9 divided by x squared minus 8x plus 15 times x minus 5 over 9x. All right, so you got to remember multiplying fractions from when you were in grade school. And when you multiply fractions, you multiply across, okay? But we've now put these equations in here, and multiplying those together can be very cumbersome and then having to factor those again. So we're going to do factor first. So I'm going to take x squared minus 9 and I'm going to change that to x plus 3, x minus 3. So this is why factoring is so important, because if you're uncomfortable with your factoring, this problem's going to take a lot longer than necessary. But if you're really comfortable with your factoring, you can move right into solving. All right, now I'm going to take x squared minus 8x plus 15, and that is x minus 5, x minus 3 times, now there's no factoring that can happen in this one, so I'm just going to recopy it. X minus 5 over 9x. All right. Now, here's the great thing about multiplication is that if you've got something on the top and on the bottom, anywhere in the problem, you can cancel. So since I have an x minus 3 on the top and the bottom, that eliminates. And since I have an x minus 5 on the top and an x minus 5 on the bottom, even though they're in two different fractions, remember multiplication allows this, x minus 5 and x minus 5 eliminates. So now all I am left with in the numerator is x plus 3, and in the denominator, 9x. So I'm just going to go over here, equal sign, and I'm going to recopy x plus 3, and then I'm going to recopy 9x, and I have multiplied these fractions, but also I have simplified at the same time. And that's what's key, is that you want to do this step first because then this answer is complete and simplified. Okay? All right, so now we're going to look at the second problem and we're going to notice there's a difference. Okay, there's a division sign. And if you remember when you learned how to divide fractions, you may remember your teacher telling you to change this one, the second fraction, to its reciprocal. Well, that applies here as well. So I'm going to recopy x plus 6 over x squared minus 3x minus 54. Okay, and then this division sign becomes a multiplication sign, and I convert this to its reciprocal, which means I just flip it over. X squared becomes minus 12x plus 27, becomes the numerator. 8x becomes the denominator. All right. So now after this step, you have to do this step first. Okay. I'm going to go back to what I did in the previous problem, and I'm going to factor everything that I can factor and then see what I can eliminate. All right. So the first one, x plus 6, you can't do anything with that. So x plus 6, x squared minus 3x minus 54. Well, that can factor to x plus, no, this is going to be a minus 9 times x plus 6 because I need to get that negative 3. All right, and then the numerator here times, that's going to be x minus 9 times x minus 3, and then 8x. All right, so now, just like the previous problem, if there's something in the numerator anywhere in the problem that matches with something in the denominator, I can eliminate. So I have an x plus 6 here, x plus 6 here, I eliminate. I have an x minus 9 here and an x minus 9 over here. That eliminates. And now I'm left with x minus 3 in the numerator, and I'm left with 8x. So equals x minus 3 over 8x. So I have multiplied my fractions and simplified all in one step. Okay, I'll make another video where I do a couple more examples, but some of you will be good to go, and good luck.